TV 10 and 55 Focus continues.
And we're back with Dr. Warren Frisna, and you're the Dean of the Honors College, and we've been putting this whole debate in the context of, how important is an SAT, should it be reconsidered as a measure of a student's abilities, and the cheating pressures that students could potentially be under. And I think you've pretty well explained that. And I think now, though, I think for purposes of our audience, an honors college, I don't know that everyone understands exactly what an honors college is. What is the purpose of it? Why do you have it? And what is the goal?
Well, the goal from the institution's point of view is to attract the strongest students that you can to your institution, because they will help push the educational experience of everybody who is attending Hofstra University. So what you do is you create a structure that allows a group of students to be connected to one another and gives them some enriched educational experiences, ensures for them that they will get sort of the look and feel of what might be a small liberal arts experience, but then all the resources of a bigger institution, one that connects them up with one another right at the beginning, but at the same time allows them to engage the entire campus. So it's all about making Hofstra a place where a student could be thinking about, on the one hand, I have a high-end small liberal arts college that I might want to go to, but then I might want to come to Hofstra where there's a school of communications, which big TV studios like this, and I get all of these kind of equipment, but I don't want to give up that small look and feel. So I come here, and they're part of the honors college, but also have all the other kinds of resources.
I've been around long enough to see how the economy affects everything, and even the way we view higher education.
Sure.
And when we had good times, people have great ideas about expanding your horizons and finding your true self, because you'll be able to get a job out there at some point. You're not worried about surviving and taking care of the basic elements of your life. Now we're in tough times, and you have a lot of people challenging higher institutions to be more practical in the types of skills that they have students learn, so that when they come out, they get a job and a career. Does that really fit into what the goal of education is, though? Is there a conflict there?
Not at all. I mean, you tell me what's more practical than being able to write in clear, coherent prose, so that when your boss says to you, I have a problem and I need you to analyze it and I need a report for you, and I get a 2-page report that articulates what the problem is, what the alternatives are, and how to solve them. That's what a liberal arts education will do. Or when your boss says, could you go to that meeting and represent us to this group, because in fact, I can't be there and we have something really important, and you have confidence that person can get up, stand in front of the room and get the talking points right and answer the questions and be articulate. That's what our education has always been about, and it's been about that at Hofstra in general, but also liberal arts institutions, as a whole. It's being able to write, think clearly, think critically. There's no skills more important than those things. Everything else comes as an addition, and most other things, skill-wise, can be picked up along the way. But it's hard to cultivate that sense of confidence in your ability to control language and to have a presence in a room.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good defense for those who would say that the classic liberal arts education is passé now.
Yeah. No, I think that's wrong. That doesn't mean that there isn't room in colleges and universities for professional education. I mean, my institution, we do have the School of Communication, School of Business, School of Education. I mean, and those are places where they learn to work the equipment in the TV studios, and they learn how to do accounting and engineering and different kinds of things. But for the Honors College and for Hofstra more broadly, liberal arts is the core around which everything gets built.
So now we have about a minute and a half left, and students who might be watching this show, why should they be in a higher education institution? What is the reason that they should be going? When you're there teaching students, I mean, that's what you're really trying to communicate to them as to why it's important for them to be there. They've got all these thoughts in their head about why they need to be there. What do you think is the most important thing they should be concentrating on when they're dedicating themselves to this for years at a time?
This is just 2 days after Steve Jobs passed away. And he was very clear about what his ambitions were, and they were to pursue his closest and dearest ambitions with passion and sort of giving all of himself to them. You go to get an education to discover what those passions are, and then to find the ways in which you can pursue them. And you look for an institution that, first of all, can hear that in your voice and can help you to get to where you need to go. And that's what higher education has always been about, and that's what we do.
Very well said. And we want to thank you for joining us. Dr. Warren Frisna, he is the Dean of the Honors College at Hofstra University, and we thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for
I'm
having me.
Richard Rose. Thank you for being there. Be sure to join us next week for yet another edition of Focus.